Hey there, it's Kate back. Today we're going to continue in our series that we're doing this week, and that's discovering clarity in negative situations or circumstances that actually come along and make you feel unwanted, rejected, in fact, have negative feelings around the whole thing. So this is what we're doing this week because, first of all, today I want to really clarify right up front. Our thoughts are not always truthful. I want you to hear that. The thoughts that we have aren't necessarily the truth that is in the situation. In fact, our brains are actually wired to remember another circumstance or situation that is very similar to the one we're going through right now. And it is likely, because it's the easiest thing for your brain to do, to want to go down the same thought patterns, the same emotions, the same actions, and it really doesn't care about the result. But if you keep going down the same path, you cannot change the result. And the first thing that we have to look at when we have in a situation where it's, not the slice of cake that we're enjoying, it's, the bitter drink. It's not so great. And we all have those situations in our lives. But what is your brain telling you? Just from my own personal experiences, and I used this example a little earlier in the week, I can remember the first couple of times that I ever went to this songwriting conference that I just attended and, very gingerly put my lyric and my song up for critique. And, now, many years later, and a much more seasoned songwriter, and I respect totally the person that was critiquing that song of mine as a very naive young songwriter. I never heard his critique as anything more than a crushing blow to my song. And yet it wasn't a crushing blow to my song. It was what my brain had set myself up for. Wow, everybody's going to love this. And then when the actuality was, I was a little green at songwriting. I needed some help. And I was getting very good help from a very, very experienced, wonderful person. And yet my brain did not want to receive it. My brain was telling me all sorts of things. And I sat there feeling like I wanted the floor to swallow me up, because everybody must be looking at me because of the terrible things he said about my song. He didn't say terrible things about my song. He actually said very correct things about my song that now I would actually say to another writer. I might say them in a different way than he said them, but the truth is I'd still say them. So understanding what our brain wants to hear and the thoughts it wants to spin us over what is truth is really important. And being mindful of that, one of the things we can actually practice to become more aware of what thoughts we have and feelings in present moments is a mindfulness or mindfulness meditation, or meditation on the word of, truth, whatever you want to meditate on, but make it truth, so that you can help observe your thoughts. Sometimes when I like to sit and meditate, sometimes I will meditate on the word, but sometimes I just want to sit there. And I want to sit there with my eyes closed. and I want to see what thoughts are spinning in my brain. And I want to let them go through my brain like that, all the way across, see them all the way out the other side, and not act on them and not feel on them, not put any emotion around them. When you do that, you can actually get a really, really clear idea of actually what is going on. It's not the easiest thing, and it does take practice. Deep breathing exercises are another one. You know, when I ever get something that is, I immediately puts the hair up on the back of my neck, or my brain wants to send me into a spin, I immediately start to breathe. I immediately focus on my breath, start taking deep breaths in and focus on my breath. So I can't focus on the rabbit hole that my brain wants to take me down. And when I center myself with breathing and slow my thoughts, that's when I can actually really have a better idea of what the circumstance really is, what the clarity around that circumstance is, and what the confusing bits are that are cloudy and not truthful. Question your thoughts. Always question your thoughts. You know, we seem to think our brain is so brilliant, it knows everything and it's all true. The truth is, it's not. Our brain just chucks out previous thoughts we've had before, thoughts that have worked before, because our brain is lazy. If you've listened to me at all, at any point, you will have heard me say, our brain is lazy. Take that in. Our brain doesn't like change. Our brain does not want to rework this situation. It does not want to actually have some new thoughts. It would prefer to be lazy. It wants to actually take its bonbons and its poodle and go sit on its beach chair somewhere and go, no, just have the recycled thoughts that you've had before. When in order to not come up with the same results, we have to implement a change of thought. We have to do that. We have to question our thoughts, challenge them, and say, is this thought based on evidence? What evidence supports this thought, or what evidence contradicts this thought? And this can start to help you evaluate the validity of the thoughts that your brain is throwing around the park for you. Set aside a time of reflection as well. I always say it's better to say nothing at all and get yourself together before you speak or take action. Quite simply put, your thoughts and your feelings belong in your inner world. In other words, you could be sitting there having a conversation with somebody, and who hasn't done this, because I have. I'll just go with myself here because I don't know what you're thinking, but I know I've done this, that I'm smiling and I'm sitting there and I'm nodding, and my brain is going, what nonsense, what are you trying to tell me? So when my brain is in total contradiction to what I'm actually looking like, if I had blurted out what I'm thinking, and the reason that I haven't is because it could be hurtful. I'm also making assumptions. I'm not. My thoughts that are going around my head are partly based on intuition, but they're also based on all thoughts. And that could be assuming things that aren't really true. So reflect on your inner world, and that is your thoughts and your feelings. Challenge them. Do some mindful meditation around those thoughts. Do all of that, because when you speak, that puts action out there, and action is the bridge between our inner world and the outer world. So you either speak or you do something, you take action. And that is what gets you your result. So be very careful that you have your inner world, your thoughts and feelings together before you spill them over and take an action, whether that's speaking words or taking a physical action that actually you might regret. I hope this has helped a little. And tomorrow I'm going to give you some biblical verses and just wrap this up for the week. But I want you to go back and over, or I suggest that you go back over some of the things that I've talked about this week and apply them to perhaps you have a negative situation in your life right now. Apply them to that. Also, there will be on my page, you will find some freebies. And if you want to reach out to me and talk with me, I give free consultations and I am happy to do that. Have a 30-minute free consultation with you and see if there's something that I can help you with. So that's it for today. I'll be in here tomorrow, same time. Bye.